How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to our channels. And tonight you've got myself and Ephron, and one of my favourite shows we do this, Ephron. This is our advanced comic book reviews. So we've got loads to get into. How are you, mate? Are you well?
I'm doing well, and well put, Peter. This is my favorite show. I mean, this is the one I think we've been doing the longest. This is a mainstay, knock on wood, of our channels. And this is a show where we each pick advanced orders. Peter and I don't know which books we're picking. Once you see the slides, if you see two pictures of the same comic book, that means we both chose that one. So just let anybody know in advance why there's two of them on there.
And you've done the slides this week, so thank you for that, Ephron, because I've been a bit busy at work, so I do appreciate that,
Yeah,
mate.
no problem.
September, Ephron?
September.
I can't believe it's September. We're looking at.
No, crazy.
I know we say this every month, and it's like a surprise. So last month it was like I was going, oh, August, but it's like, yeah, things are just moving rapidly on through the year.
Yeah.
But excuse me, we've got some great books to talk about. Let's jump into the chat first and see who we've got. We've got Chris Bell. Nice to see you, Chris. Loving that image, Chris. Loving that image. Have you seen James since he shaved his beard off, Ephron?
No, I have not.
Okay, so Chris has done that to come out in support of James. He's had a bit of a shave.
Yeah.
Had a bit of an incident. We've got Anton. Nice to see you, Anton. Hope you're well. And we've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Lovely jubbly. Good stuff, my friend. We've got Andy. Nice to see you, Andy. Hope you're doing well. We've got, now, is that Ratch or Rach? Nice to see you. Is it Ratch or Rach?
Seems like a rage to me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining. We've got C4 Darkman. Always good to see you, pal. And we've got Joshy Boys Toys. Thank you very much for joining. We've got Stephen Butler. Good to see you, Stephen. Stephen was sharing some images yesterday. I don't know if it's hit the States, this, but they've opened kind of Daily Planet newsstands at various points, and you can get like a newspaper. It's really interesting.
What's a newspaper?
What?
I'm only kidding.
I was going to say, gee, God, Ephron, you had us concerned there for a second. Saying that, like, I mean, you guys get all your news from Fox News, don't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Superman out this Friday, Ephron. Oh,
yeah.
It's getting the review embargoes lifted. It's getting really good reviews.
Good.
Really good reviews. I'm excited. We've got Wayne. Nice to see you, Wayne, Mark, and Mindy. I'm not sure which one's which.
Probably Mindy. Me, I have the long hair, so
yeah, we'll go with that. Hello from the Republic of Ireland. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Stephen. Love this to get some good pickups of my own. Yeah, we try hard, Stephen, to not just show you, and we do show the same books quite often, but we try very hard to try and find different stuff as well. Stuff that's either new issue ones or just new things, you know. We've got Bao, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. We've got Super Sorrel, just getting into the comic land. He's starting to pick up a few books, so nice to see you, Sorrel. Did a redirect from my stream. Right. Thank you, Sorrel. Thank you. That might be why we've got some new names. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ash, always good to see you, Ash. Thank you. And it's Rachel. Thank you for confirming. Yeah. Rachel, I have to say, I love that little image with the skull and the roses.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
We've got Andrew. Andrew's become a member. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really do appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Chris is mocking. Chris, I'm Geordie, man. I barely do normal language. Names I struggle with, you know that. I struggle with it. Anton, I want to say it on Friday. Yeah, I'm going to say it this Friday, Anton. I am absolutely hyper. Cannot wait. Wait. Yeah, I'm just hyper for it. Pleased I've already done my pulls for September because my list is getting a touch long. That's the danger, Andrew, isn't it? The lists just get longer and longer. And let's be honest, they're not cheap. These books are not cheap.
Nope.
It's risky listening to them, Stephen. Beware. It is very well. C4 Darkman, I shared you on Blue Sky. Now, C4 Darkman, I'm an older chap. I haven't got a clue what Blue Sky is. Do you know what Blue Sky is, Ephron?
No, I'm older, so yeah. If you don't know, I don't know.
Is that some kind of down with the kids app thing, C4 Darkman? Is that like Twitter or something for young people? I don't know. Whatever it is, thank you so much. Fuzzy has shared one on Grindr. Thanks, Fuzzy. Ephron won't know what Grindr is. I shouldn't know what Grindr is. So yeah, thank you for that, Fuzz. Anton, I see a really cool,
Oh, I
Fantastic
didn't
Four
bring it up
shirt.
here.
Let's have a
You can
look.
see the full shirt there.
Nice, 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 nice. Getting excited for Fantastic Four, Efren?
Oh yeah, this I have to go see Jurassic Park. My daughter saw it yesterday. She said it was a good movie. She liked it, so I have to go see that. I Superman this weekend for sure. Peter, if you want to do a review, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah.
And Fantastic Four also. Fantastic Four comes out during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see if they do anything special for that.
I wonder if they'll do anything at Comic-Con for it then.
They
Marvel's not there, is it?
last year they did Wolverine Deadpool movie, but you had to have special tickets to get in, and if they do that, I mean it's coming out like right during Comic-Con.
Okay. As Stephen's saying, early comments and reviews have been very positive for Superman, with the majority saying it feels like a proper comic book movie. Good. Yeah, me too, mate. I'm really, really, I'm getting more and more confident in the year I get. I'm not just, I just want to be entertained. Want to be entertained. Yeah, I thought I'd read that Fuzzy, that Marvel aren't at a Hall Age this year.
Marvel or Warner Brothers either. They're just not going to be there. Hall Age Saturday is the big day at San Diego Comic-Con. Everybody goes there, but I'm sure they're going to fill it up. They're only there for an hour, but it's a big hour, but they're not going to be there. Yeah.
Anton's just saying Jurassic World, despite what people are saying, is a lot of fun. I thought it was fine. It's if you're not wanting anything new from the franchise, in my humble opinion, it's okay. It's got some good action in it, some good adventure in it. The dinosaur stroke mutant things are interesting. But it's not going to win any Oscars or anything different. But then we don't expect these films to win Oscars. Do you know what I mean? Super Sorrel is saying, I'm trying to stick to horror comics these days. Love the darker side of the comics. Yeah, Sorrel, I've got a few comics put aside for you, so drop us your address. And just whilst you're on Sorrel, I went to what do they call it? A scare screening or something last night where they don't tell you what film you're going to see at Odeon. And it was Bring Her Back, which, if you haven't heard of that, guys, if you like your horror movies, particularly if you like Talk to Me and things like that, really, really cool film to watch. Really cool film. Anyway, let's crack on, because we've got loads of stuff to talk about. We're talking September, as we said, and these are the books that me and Efren have picked. As we always do say, these are just our humble opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own views. This is just stuff we think looks interesting. At the end of the show, we're going to talk to you a little bit about books we're not going to pick up. We're going to review a comic book that we've both read recently. And then we're going to talk to you a little bit about what's coming out next week that we're fancy seeing.
Yes.
So we'll start off with you, Efren. A bit of Star Wars goodness.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I went, God, is this Han Solo like in the present, Star Wars universe? Or this is an older this is an older Han Solo. So there's another picture, another comic book cover, and it shows him an older Han Solo, and this is written by Rodney Barnes. Okay. So another reason I picked this book, Star Wars Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon. In the time before The Force Awakens, where's the Millennium Falcon? Less than satisfied with a settled life, Han Solo lands on the idea of reclaiming the Falcon and returning to a life of adventure. The problem is he can't find it. After enlisting a less than enthusiastic Chewbacca, the duo embarks on a quest to reclaim the greatest ship in the galaxy. Yeah. So this is before, Force Awakens, and, which is pretty cool. So it's basically a new story that we've never heard of. So I'm just going to see where it leads. And hopefully it's a good story. Like I said, Rodney Barnes is, a favorite writer of ours, I should say. He did Philadelphia, another book, Dracula, Blackula.
Big fan of Rodney Barnes. Big fan of Rodney.
If I see him at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going to ask him if he wants to come on our show again. If he has anything else to talk about,
Yeah, because we interviewed him a little while ago, but he was quite tired, wasn't he? So I don't know if we got a lot from him. But we'll try and get to speak to him again. That would be really
cool. Yeah, so that's why I picked this book, specifically of Rodney Barnes, nice. One of my favorite artists. Writers.
Very cool. Very cool. I went for this. This is kind of caught me offside a little bit. I wasn't expecting a return to Battle World and Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. That said, I'm not up to speed with the current Doom run, so I'm not sure if this is all linked to that. But I saw the covers and I thought, actually, do you know what? I really, really like them. They look very, very smart. I love the image of Thor with the sword and everything. And this is harking back to, like I say, the Battle Worlds from the Hickman run. So this is the battle world from Secret Wars returns. Slay your enemies, prove your worth, and all your desire shall be yours in the world to come. So I don't know if this is let me know in the chat if you guys have heard of this. I don't know if this is just a relaunch or what, but I'm not sure if it's linked into the One World Under Doom or anything. But yeah, I'm liking the covers. It looks interesting. What do you think, Efren?
I wasn't going to choose this, but then I started looking at the covers, and I like that they're going to be picking characters from different parts of history, not just the present, 616. Because they have Luke Cage on, he has his old, like, 1970s outfit on. And yeah, I'm interested in it. Hopefully it will be good. I'm not sure how many issues it's going to be, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it also.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
The Star Brand must be a relatively big character in this, because I noticed Bagley's got a separate cover for this, and it's focusing purely on Star Brand, which is a character from when they did that new universe thing a while ago, and then I think he became quite important in the Avengers run for a little while. Not a character I'm very familiar with, so yeah, interesting.
We'll Maestro's coming too, from the Future Hulk, and is he friend or foe? So
big fan of Maestro.
Yeah.
Oh, you've fallen into the Sorrel sent us this image, and I was like, no, man, no. But never mind. Talk to her about.
I'm not gonna buy them all, but if I'm gonna get one, I just think this cover is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite artists, Humberto Ramos. This is Avengers 4, and I think this is just. I don't think Stitch is gonna be in this book, but it's just have him in the front covers, where I thought it was pretty cool. Marvel zombies attack in the ruins of Secret Wars. The Avengers' hunt for the missing moment takes them to the last place anyone expected, the ruins of Hickman's Secret Wars, where Marvel zombies await. And while Earth's mightiest heroes are away, someone needs to protect the world in their absence. Luckily, they know just a group of misunderstood mutants featuring the X-Men. So that's a lot happening in this book.
So that's interesting, isn't it? So, I mean, obviously we've got Secret Wars coming out in a couple of years from Marvel.
Yeah.
This is another book linked to the Secret Wars, the old Hickman series, just like the last one. So they must be doing something with Marvel in terms of relaunching it or trying to get back to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This cover reminds me of the 1970s Avengers, that era. So
it's got a bit of a, I don't think it's as good, Efren, but it's got a bit of a George Perez feel to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That kind of imagery.
Yeah.
Fuzzy thinks it's a bit of a mess, that cover. It's a bit all over the place. Stitch needs a crossover. Nice to see you, Samurai. I hope you're well. Yeah. That cover would look better with a Stitch logo. Yeah. It's interesting. It is interesting. But the comic itself, Marvel Zombies, has got us intrigued, because I do like a bit of Marvel Zombies. Chris Bell, missed opportunity. Marvel Zombies that have been ripping Stitches off. I'm not sure Disney would allow that one, Chris.
Yeah.
But I'd buy it, yeah. Okay, so I was a little, not negative, but I was a little bit miserable about the launch of Imperial by Hickman a little while ago. But actually, seeing all the different tie-ins and things is getting us a little bit excited. So, and I'm a big fan of the Marvel Cosmic Universe. So, spotted this one. This is Imperial War Exiles. I have to be honest, as soon as I saw the title Exiles, I got excited, because I'm a big fan of the old Exiles comic book series.
Yeah.
I don't think that ties into that. I think this is just pinching the name. But it's Lalandra and Prof Xavier front and centre, which is pretty interesting. A coup at home has imperiled Shire and Majestic Xander. See how I just rolled those names off? Tearing her from the throne. Her only hope for survival lies in the mismatched group of renegades led by her father, Professor Charles Xavier. I didn't realise Prof X had a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that entire bit. That's interesting. So yeah, I'll give this one a go, see if it's any good. I am quite liking these Imperial covers. So yeah, I'll give it a go and see what I think. Are you reading any of this, Efren? I think it was only been the first issue so far.
I haven't read the first Imperial. I haven't read Imperial yet, but I plan to. My only thing is get rid of that helmet from Xavier. I mean, it's like, what is that for? Yeah.
Is it Cerebro? Is that what it's meant to be doing?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if that's what it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be Cerebro. Okay, moving on. Bit of Fantastic Four action, Efren. This is you, I think.
Yes, this is Fantastic Four number 3. They're still under one world, under Doom. Doom's secret and how he's been able to win so much so often has been revealed. How do you best the no-win scenario? The Fantastic Four have an idea, but it'll take them the frozen depths of Antarctica deep into Doom's secret lair, where they'll face the greatest challenge yet. It's Doom versus the Fantastic Four in a way you've never seen before. So that got me hooked just reading that. And I've always been a big fan of Fantastic Four. And hopefully, I'm sure Doom's going to be defeated sooner or later.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to see how.
Yeah, I'm into this. I like a bit of Fantastic Four. Fuzzy, yeah, Legion was his son with Moira McTaggart, I think, wasn't she? Or was that Proteus? Was Proteus Charles's son?
No, I think Proteus was his son too,
It was Moira's
right?
son, but maybe he's not Charles's.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think Proteus was Moira's son, but not Charles's. Yeah. But I think Legion was Charles and Moira's son.
Yeah.
So anyway, Moira shouldn't have any more kids. So,
yeah. He's having kids all over the place, isn't he? My worry with Imperial is how many books are going to spin out of it. That's always my worry, Andrew, with any of these Marvel crossovers, which is, to be honest, why I pull back on a lot of them and wait until it's concluded, then either get an omnibus or pick which ones look interesting, because these kind of entire line-wide crossovers just do me head in, because the quality's never there, really, to be honest. I think you're right, Fuzzy. By the time Doomsday comes out, everyone will be sick of Doom. He's in every single comic. That's how it's certainly feeling, isn't it? It is getting a bit overkill. They did the same with Venom, mind. I think there's far too much, or there has been far too much Venom out there as well. You need a bit of a break from these characters. Okay, let's have a look. See, next, I had to put this one in, Efren. This is the first part of the Marvel DC crossover, Deadpool and Batman. Main tale, and then it's got an additional story in it, which is either Green Arrow and Daredevil, or there's a one which is Jeff the Land Shark and something else, which I'm not interested in the slightest. But this looks really interesting. Now, I was chatting with Fuzzy about this the other day. Do you remember all the excitement of those Battle Beast blind bags?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're doing the same with this.
Oh.
So the blind bags are a little bit more expensive, but you probably want to check them out now. If you're interested in this kind of thing, check them out now. £7.50 by Sad Lemon or whatever your usual retailer is for a blind bag. You're guaranteed a foil cover comic, and it's one of the various different ratioed books. So you might get the standard cover, or you might get a 1 in 50, a 1 in 100, 1 in 200, whatever it may be. Yeah, Fuzzy, you're right. As I'm talking shite. That's another comic. That's not for this. That's for the Batman. So ignore everything I've just said. And when we get to the Batman, which is my pick in a bit, we'll talk about that then. But yeah, this is not that book. So apologies for that. Fuzzy, you should be on the screen, man. You should be on the screen. Yeah. But yeah, this looks interesting. I like the cover. Interesting team up. Tons of different variants. Are you going to be picking this one up, Efren?
Yeah, I chose this one also, and I was wondering why Daredevil and Green Arrow were on the cover of one of the books. So now I know, they're going to be probably like a backstory on this. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've always loved Marvel DC crossovers. The last one was like over 20 years ago. The picture on the right are just some of the variants that are coming out, and these are just variants directly from Marvel. I'm sure there's going to be offshoot variants from different companies. They're going to be inundated with variants for this cover.
Yeah, Fuzzy, I saw the Scotty Young cover. It's quite. I'm not a big Scotty Young fan, but the Scotty Young cover is quite nice. I quite like that one. Have you seen that one, Efren?
For this book?
Yeah. It's
no, I haven't seen it yet.
The image is, it's very Scotty Young, but they're all on a rooftop and Batman's kind of perched behind Deadpool. Mm-hmm. It looks quite smart. It is quite nice. Cool. It is quite nice. Looking forward to Deadpool and Batman. Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. Being comics are so expensive, and you're really going to buy Batman and Deadpool, I think this one will go off the shelves, Anton. I think a lot of people will pick this up. I think there'll be a lot of interest in it. This is just going to keep happening now. The blind bag age of comics. I think you're right. Chris. And as usual, you know what I'm like. I will resist. I'm not falling for their corporate shenanigans. Obviously, I'm going to start after this one because I bought 10 of them already. But after that, Chris, I'm not falling for it, mate. I'm not falling for it anymore. Yeah. I put an order in for the Batman reboot today, and that was a blind bag. Yeah, Stephen, I mixed them up, mate. So the blind bag is for the Batman one, which I think I've got a slide on because I think I sent that one in, Efren. Yeah.
Yep, so did I.
Yeah. C4, absolutely. I love more Amalgam comics. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
The Dark Claw in particular was very cool. You know, yeah, there were some great ones, some really great ones. Batman, not falling for blind bags. Me neither, mate. Me neither. After this one, maybe. Oh, we'll both pick this one, Efren.
Yeah.
So sorry. Question for you, there, Efren, because we both picked it, right? We did this last month. I don't know whether I've just completely missed it or what. This is issue number 2. Have we talked about issue 1 of this?
I don't remember. We might not have for some reason or another. I think
we missed it.
Yeah. So we might have missed it. I was going to say, before we go any further, since Sorrell's starting to buy comic books, we should actually, everybody should pitch him, get him a comic book box instead of binders where he puts his books in, So just saying,
Absolutely agree. Me and Efren don't sleep at night, Sorrell, thinking about your comic book collection.
Yeah.
It upsets us. So yeah. Send us your address and I might send you a shirt box. Yeah.
So I really have been enjoying Predator versus Black Panther, Wolverine, and now the latest Spider-Man one. They've been all well written. And this is Predator Kills the Marvel Universe number 2. And this is several battles in our solar system which devastated both the Guardians of the Galaxy and Fantastic Four. The Predators escalate to the next stage of the war, their target Earth. And the X-Men and Avengers are at the top of their kill list. Prepare for an extinction-level event. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this. But I don't know if I told you, but I told my cousin that sometimes I think these predators, they're not really predators. All they do, they have these cloaking devices. They sneak up behind people. All they are is bullies. If they wanted to fight somebody one-on-one, fight them, make it a fair fight.
Yeah, it's not very fair usually, is it? It's
not very fair. But I am looking forward to buying this book and reading it.
I love this line. So this is a long line of books. Started off, crikey, years ago with Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, which is an incredible story. Just a one-shot, dead easy read. And then since then they've done Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. They've done loads of different iterations of it. The reason I really like these, Efren, is because it's not in continuity.
Yeah.
So do you know how quite often we read these kind of crossover event books and it feels like there's no stakes to it? When you're reading these books, there is stakes because any of the characters can die at any point, Yeah. And I quite like that because it makes it feel more impactful. Because we know, the current crossovers and things like that, no one ever really dies, and if they do, they get better.
Yeah.
Whereas with these, it actually does. So yeah, I'm all over this. I cannot wait for it. Fuzzy's just confirming this book issue 1 came out between our shows. Sorrow, I thought how they handled Battle Beast books was good, though a few different covers and a few reprint titles. Blind Bag was a good idea. You think not? I thought it was great, Sorrow. I think particularly because they kept it at such a low cost. And they kept it as a surprise. But I do agree with Chris. This could become the new big thing. So it could be every book has a...
Who makes the blind bags? Who is it, a company or just a specific publisher? Or
no idea, mate.
Yeah.
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris would rather just pick up the ratios at normal cost. If you don't like how Sorrell throws his comics, remind me never to show you mine. Would I have palpitations, Andrew? Would I have palpitations? Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to send me some images, Andrew. Yeah. Batman, is issue 1 out yet? I don't think so, Dan. I can't say I've even heard this talked about. I'm obviously very aware of the Spider-Man versus Predator, which is running at the moment, which is a really good story. But this one's completely missed us. So I can't say I've read it or I haven't seen it or anything. So yeah, I thought it would make a bigger deal of it, to be honest. But yeah, I'll check it out. I will check it out. Next, I'm enjoying this one. This is your pick, but
So have I. This is Red Hulk #8, written by Benjamin Percy. Riker wants to turn Red Hulk into an even deadlier weapon. Will Wild Strike help Thunderbolt Ross escape Project Alpha, or will she keep him doomed to Riker's experiments? And what terrible plans does Warwolf have for both? I just like the Red Hulk because it just shows you what type of, Bruce Banner, we all know, is the Hulk and all the problems he's been going through his whole life as a Hulk. But I mean, Ross, he's a military person. And he has a different mindset for sure. I just like the way they have portrayed this character where he takes control and not the other way around, like with Bruce Banner's Hulk.
So I initially had no interest in this character at all. Never really got into the Red Hulk. But then I started reading this with issue 1, and I'm loving this series.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with good old General Ross a little bit. I think it's a really strong comic book. So yes, I would recommend picking this up and giving it a shot, guys. It is a good. It is part of the Doom crossover, but it's a crossover that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying this one. I'm enjoying this one. It's very, very cool. Very cool. We've got 22 people watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Please do hit that like and subscribe on both my channel, TripleG Comics, and also Efren's channel, Past Point Comics. Would much appreciate it. Okie dokie. I've then gone for Venom. Now I know I've just moaned about Venom, and I'm not reading the regular book. I'm not particularly au fait with the current changes of Venom. I know at the moment it's not Eddie Brock in the costume. I don't think it's Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
No sense. That makes no sense. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it. We've got multiple Venom books. We've got Venom verse. We've got, there's bloody tons of stuff. Hashtag book. Yep. But this one piqued my interest because it is an anniversary issue written by Al Ewing, who I normally quite like his stuff. And it is got Null coming back. So Null, as everyone will remember, massive character a few years back, was really promised big things, was teased for a couple of years, I think, with little hints of him. And then we had that King in Black storyline, which I think, I've not read it. I've got it in trade paperback. I haven't read it yet. But from what I remember, people weren't particularly excited by it. And then I think he just died at the end.
I remember. I did read it, but I don't remember much about it,
So I think people have been wanting to see a return of Null for a while. So I thought I would pick this up and see what it's all about. But yeah, hopefully they do him justice. Null point. I get that for you. That's good. That's good. C4 Darkmane. I have boxes from my... Oh, Jesus. From my local Chinese from my comics. They're resized regular boxes, and it's always the perfect size for comics. Not boxes that have had Chinese food in them, Darkmane. Please. Yeah, Bat Dan. Yeah, they smell nice.
Gonna give us nightmares.
Fuzzy, overrated for me. Never liked Null. I don't know much about him, Fuzzy. I never really read any of those books. I emphasise the books there for people because I know they like how I say it. But return of him, we'll give it a go. King in Black was a bit of a damp squib in the end. Lots of people said that, Chris. Lots of people said that. Andy, who, I put a lot of weight on Andy's recommendations because he's normally got great taste. He said that the lead up was good, but the end was a real letdown. So yeah, so I'm not overly excited, but I'll give it a go. I don't like Null visually. He looks too human. I wanted something more monstrous. Did he have wings and stuff at one point, or was that Venom? I can't remember.
Venom had wings. Yeah. If you do read Null, read the Daredevil books from Null. That one was so well done. He got turned into a symbiote too, because of Null. But he had I talked about it before, but his inner strength, his faith, made him so he wasn't completely possessed by the symbiote. He still retained his humanity. It was a really good storyline, the Daredevil one.
We're going to move on, but I do want everybody to know I'm still, even though we're pushing through and we're doing the slides, the thought of your comics smelling of prawn crackers and fried rice is still in my head, Darkmane. I'm struggling to move past that. So please let one know in the comments that it's not used Chinese boxes. It's fresh boxes, or else I'm not going to sleep. Bit of Thing action, Efren.
I haven't read issue number 1 yet, but I think it's one of my favorite heroes, Marvel heroes, just like Daredevil, street level heroes, so to speak. Even though they do a lot of outer space stuff, but the Thing to me is more street level. It says Ben Grimm versus Wilson Fisk. I think they've never fought, before. To save the life of one innocent, can the Thing take down the Kingpin and his top enforcers? Can you even clobber the man who owns New York City? Written by Tony Fleece, who did Stray Dogs, and I haven't read issue 1 yet, so hopefully it's a good storyline.
So issue 1 and 2 are out, both strong.
Good.
I want to say very old school storytelling. It's just a nice, easy tale to read.
Yeah.
You don't need to know all the backstory and continuity and stuff. It's just a jaunt. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it.
Cool.
Seafood Dark Main, they line the boxes with carrier bags before they put Chinese to in. They don't smell. That's relaxed as a little bit dark. Yeah. That's relaxed as for sale Hook 181 with several creams. Good stuff. Good stuff. I fancy a Chinese now.
Anyway, that's good.
This is the one I was talking about. So this is the relaunch of Batman #1 with his jazzy new costume. I don't think I like it, but never mind. Not so keen on the bat symbol, but this is the new Batman tale by Matt Fraction. This has got a whole host of different covers. Again, some really, really nice ones. This is the one that's got that blind bag thing I was talking about. So as well as them being tons of different covers, there's a blind bag option for £7.50 where you can get a foil cover if that's your kind of thing. But yeah, it's a new #1. It's a restart. I love Matt Fraction's work. Normally gets a bit clever. So yeah, I'll give it a go. What do you think, Efren?
I agree with you. Another reason I picked this book too, and J. Scott Campbell's doing a cover for this also, but his cover wasn't available. But this is Art German, the bottom right-hand side. His old book, nice. The old series is still, you can still purchase, you can still order that one for advanced orders. So I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. The old one is going to be the final issue, and then it's going to go to this one, like right next to each other, basically. But it's still orderable, the previous series of Batman.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I always like #1s, so.
Me too. And on saying the Thing cover is very cool. Fuzzy saying, pay off, you did this through Batman and loved it. I know, but I'm still not convinced, Fuzzy, that I like the artistic design of Batman in that. He just looks weird. But yeah, I will. You're right. You are right, Fuzzy. I will fall in love with this, I'm sure. The Battle Beast ones were only a £5. The cheapest I've seen them so far is $7.50, and I don't think you get ratios on these. No, I think you do, Fuzzy. I think they're all foil ratios. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Stephen, £6 this one, Forbidden Planet. You see, I'm saying I'm not sure. I've bought 10 of the flaming things and I haven't even looked at it. Batman Fraction is a great writer. He is. He gets a bit complicated for my simple little brain sometimes, but overall, I do like him. Everyone likes a free giveaway with a comic. Maybe I could get a line each comic with a noodle bookmark. That would be very cool. I like that. The old one hasn't finished. Tell me Hush 2 yet.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And the regular Bat book has been rubbish since Tom King left. I don't read the regular one. Do you, Efren?
Yeah, I've been reading it. I've been reading all of Batman books, so I've been enjoying it. It's been outstanding, but yeah, hopefully this one's better.
Yeah. Terry, all the other covers don't seem to have that emblem. It seems a bit random. I think that's the new design, but you're right. Some of the random covers have just kind of done their own thing, which is interesting. Okay, next.
So Peter's going to be talking about this afterwards. You can tell we have another segment at the very end, and you can see why he's going to be talking about it. But to me, Danny Rand Iron Fist has always been one of my favorite characters. I've enjoyed him back in the day with Power Man, Luke Cage. So he was killed, which I didn't even know. But can you truly kill an immortal Iron Fist? Learn the truth about the legacy of the Iron Fist as Danny Rand rises once more to snuff out those that threaten that legacy before Danny's time run out. I know everybody's not a big, Iron Fist fan of Danny Rand, but I've enjoyed reading him since the 70s. So I'm going to give this book a try. You know, it may be on my list next month that I don't like it, but for now I do.
Yeah. We used to do a section on a show we used to do called the Killer Comic Show called Are My Eyes, where we talk about ugly, not very nice covers. I think
Yeah.
that's what Fuzzy's getting at. Who's that in the cover? I guess that's my point. That doesn't look like any version of Iron Fist I've seen. It's a very
No.
strange costume design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a try. So.
Give it a go. Give
Give
it
it a go. Peter will be talking about this later on. So.
Seafood Darkman, really like Burbank's run on Iron Fist. Yeah, me too. Was that the weapons or mortal weapons? I think it was. But yeah, I liked that as well. And Fuzzy is a fan of Iron Fist. I just really like how he's been written. I've gone for this. This looked a little bit different, and the cover, I have to say, doesn't jump out at us at all. But there are a few different variations of this cover that you can go for. But the reason that I kind of was attracted to it, because it's got Round Table in the title, and I thought, ooh, I do like a bit of Arthurian kind of legend and stuff. And Tom Taylor, as we've just kind of mentioned, is a cracking little writer. So this is Court, Children of the Round Table. It's only a 6-part miniseries. And it's basically, for centuries, an elite force known only as Camelot Corps has protected ancient secrets, waiting for the day when these myths are needed by the world. The day is today. So it's going to be more of a kind of a myths and legends and sword and sorcery and all that kind of stuff. And as you know, Efren, big fan of that series we talk about quite regularly, Camelot 3000.
Yeah.
3000 or 2000?
Yep.
3000.
3000, yeah.
And I'm a big fan of, oh God, what was the series called? The one was all about the Arthurian legends and the
oh gosh,
King Arthur was brought back and he was like a monster and a demon. Was the old lady.
Once and Future.
Once and Future, yeah, big fan of Once and Future. Yeah. So yeah, this could be dreadful, but I don't think so with Tom Taylor. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a go. See what I think of it.
Yeah, good choice. Thor says the mortal Thor. I didn't realize it said that. Thor died in I'm not sure if the last issue of his previous book, but I haven't even read it yet. It says the thunder gods were hired to teach a simple lesson: make trouble for Roxxon construction, and they'll make trouble for you. Now somebody's targeting the bike gang where they live. Somebody who won't give up. Somebody calling himself Thor. Somewhere in the city, a man with a hammer is getting to work. I don't know if they're trying to make him more street level, which I think they are. I don't know how this series is going to run, because everybody knows, everybody who's read Thor, he's all his journeys, he's a god. So this one, he's the mortal Thor. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on. I haven't read issue 1. It hasn't come out yet. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and that this will be a good series, but they're trying to mortalize and make him more human, obviously. Well, is that going to be good? You're a big Thor fan. I can't wait to hear your opinion of this book, Peter.
I mean, they've done this on a number of occasions. Do you know what I mean? They've done it on a number of occasions because Ragnarok is the natural end of the gods and they get reborn. So they did do the Lost Gods series a while ago, which was where Ragnarok happened and then they were all moved to Earth and didn't have any memory of who they were and things like that. They kind of tied into that in one of the Thor movies a little bit with Odin being kind of on the streets and things like that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I love Thor, but my favorite ever run of Thor was when Eric Matheson was Thor.
Yeah. Thunderstrike.
Yeah, and before that he was just Thor, but all the power, but still the personality, as it were. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some interesting stuff in this. I have to say, Al Ewing's work on the last series of Thor was good, but didn't blow us away. So we'll see.
I wish I would bring back Thunderstrike. I like that character too. Gosh, it's been a while.
Thor doesn't know he's a god. Yeah, that makes sense, Dungeon Crawler. Yeah. That makes sense. If the red labeled this and followed through with that, with what it could be, it would be sensational. Is that what we're talking about, Thor, or are we talking about? We must be talking about Thor.
Yeah, I think so.
A no holds bar Thor would be really interesting. Surely it's a new Thor. Not sure. It would be interesting if it was. C4 Darkman, I think he's going to have a human host again. I always enjoyed that storyline more. Darkmane, so I would be up for that. I would be up for that. Isn't this a relaunch where he's now in a bubble universe?
I hope not. God.
I'm not up to date with it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thor books are overdue. There's a great, if you want to see like a no holds barred version of Thor, there's a mini series called Thor Vikings. I think it's by Garth Ennis, and it's brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal and really graphic, really graphic. Yeah, in Floating Over Texas, that was one of my favorite runs as well. Really enjoyed that. Anton, they tried to do that whilst Simmons, it didn't work. And in Love and Thunder, Helmsworth started out in a bit of a Thunderstrike outfit. He did. I got very excited. Yeah. Huh. They showed some images of it before the movie, and I got a little bit excited, thinking, "Ooh, we're going to get a Thunderstrike." But yeah, we didn't. He didn't keep it for very long. It was when he was with the Guardians, and he had the kind of the leather jacket. Without
oh God, I gotta watch that scene again. That's all I'm going to watch.
I wouldn't put yourself through that. Yeah. So I've picked this one. I enjoyed the first issue of this. This is not really it is a comic, but it's more of an encyclopedia, really. So they've done this a few times with these histories of the DC universe. This one's written by Mark Waid with some great artwork inside. And basically issue 1 started at the very beginning of time. And then it's kind of going through, each book's going through different time periods. And it's all splash pages, and it gives you a little brief rundown of what's happening at each era. This is really nice little series. Love Mark Waid's work. When this is finished, I'll probably buy this as a nice hardback, I think. But yeah, and the cover work's really nice in them as well. So yeah, I'm liking those.
Cool.
They're nice covers.
So I picked these 2 covers. These are Alex Ross Timeless version variants. He's coming out again with another set. And the one on the left is Exceptional X-Men number 13. Kitty Pryde has been one of my favorite characters. So it says, Kitty Pryde lost in time. Kitty has been sucked through a hole in the space-time continuum and into the days of her origins as an X-Man. Can the team get her back, and will they have to make their way without their fearless leader from now on? I always like time travel books. I mean, just going back in time, meeting your younger selves, So hopefully it's a good storyline. And on the one on the right is another Alex Ross cover. This one is Death stalks the Kinney sisters. Gabby Kinney has a sickness even her healing factor can't cope with. Wolverine searches the catacombs of Paris for the cure, but will I can't even pronounce that word, seal Gabby's fate. Guest starring Clea Strange. So these are Alex Ross covers, and the next page has all his covers that are coming out. I just took a snapshot of them. So yep, they have old school Rogue on the upper right hand side, like when she was with Mystique. And these are the covers that are coming out soon.
Just stunning, absolutely stunning. I mean, I absolutely adore his work.
Yeah.
So hopefully there'll be a poster book comes out as well, because what they normally do is they produce these covers, and then they do a large scale poster book. They have done that for the last two different runs. So yeah, I'll definitely pick that up. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Bat Dan, don't forget to pick up DC History Blanks for Thought Bubble. You mentioned that last time, Dan, and I bought 5, you swine. So yeah, thank you for that. So got them for a good price on eBay. So yeah, I picked up 5 of them. Also, we should have maybe put some slides up to show. I know me and Efren both managed to get the the J. Scott Campbell exclusives that went live on his website. He had a stunning blank cover. I don't know if you saw it, Dan, with the kind of the old border, but his style of it. And then there's a Spider-Man cover and a Mary Jane cover. Managed to get a couple of sets of them. So yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've got GP Venom. Nice to see you, Pete. Hope you're well. Going? Haven't seen you for a little while, bud. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And Logan report. Nice to. Oh, I love that image of Transformers Logan. Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, this looked interesting. So I spotted this and I thought, what the hell is that? When I saw the zombie cow, and it appeals. It could be rubbish, but we'll give it a go. So this is Everything Dead and Dying, 1 of 5. It's by Image Comics. Jack Chandler is the sole survivor of the zombie apocalypse in his rural farming community, but rather than eliminate them, he's chosen to continue living alongside the undead, including the husband and adopted daughter he fought so hard to have. But when history is discovered, when his town is discovered by outsiders, Jack suddenly becomes the one thing standing in the way of those who hope to kill his family for good. It just sounds interesting, and I love that image of the cow milking the zombie cow. So I thought, yeah, I'll give this a go.
Yeah, I picked it too. Hopefully it's a good read. So it's a different type of zombie story, and we're just trying to get along with them actually. So yeah, I love the cover too on the left-hand side with the
just looks
zombie cow. Like what kind of milk comes out of that? So yeah.
Jacob Phillips, great work, Fuzzy. Absolutely stunning artist. Yeah, I like his work a lot. So yeah, looking forward to that. 27 people are watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Please do hit that like and subscribe, and please give this video a thumbs up. Ooh, bit of Nightwing. Love that cover.
I'm mostly a Marvel reader. But I do enjoy DC books, and one of my favorite characters is Nightwing. Just like Daredevil, it's a street level hero. And it says, as Daredevil 130, Nightwing takes on a sidekick. Nightwing finds himself thrust into the unlikely role of mentor to an aspiring hero with incredible power. But is the city of Bloodhaven big enough for the both of them? So it looks like they're going to be introducing a new character. And I'm sure Nightwing has had other sidekicks, but after the books I've read of him, he's never had one. So, but yeah, hopefully this is a good read, see how much of an influence Batman had on him as, being a mentor, So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this story.
I'm loving that cover. That might be a cover buy for me.
Yeah,
really, really like it. Really like it. Question time. If you drink zombie cow milk, will you turn into a zombie? I would have thought so. Yeah.
I would think so too.
Fuzzy, hit the like and give a thumbs up. You don't expect much. I demand, Fuzzy, I demand. Anton says it's an interesting cover. Batgirl, yeah, you could say she was. I'm sure as well during the Chuck Dixon run, there was a character called Nightwing, spelled Nite, who started off as a sidekick but then turned a bit crazy, I think, and was killing people and stuff, I think. I can't remember.
Don't you just love version covers? I'm glad DC's doing that too. We all know who the characters are. Most everybody knows who he is, Nightwing. But just an awesome looking cover. Just
stunning, isn't it? I love how the blue stands out in the red.
Yeah.
So, Efren. So, this is where I butcher the poor gentleman's name. Simon Krudansky.
That's pretty good. You got it.
Stunning artist and writer who's done some of my favourite books over the last few years, really. Something epic. And then, Blood Commandment, which were just absolutely phenomenal. Simon very, very kindly sent me some advanced images of this book a little while ago.
Nice.
And it looks familiar. It looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. As usual with his work, the artwork is just breathtaking. He's got a whole host of movie-related alternate covers coming out for this. Some of them are just absolutely stunning. So yeah, really excited for this. I love his work. So for 3 months each year, you can walk from the USA to Russia across an ice bridge, a frozen path known as the Ice Curtain. In 1963, when the body of a young woman is discovered on this icy no man's land, the already fragile relationship between the superpowers threatens to collapse. With nuclear tensions rising, an FBI agent and a KGB operative must solve the murder before the ice melts and war ignites. His work is always incredibly interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. Fuzzy is saying ding a dong. Absolutely. Volcanicus Society. When Dick was Batman, he had Damian. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Damian Wayne was his sidekick for a while. Absolutely. I quite like that. I like that run, when you had Dick being the Bat for a while. And it was an interesting dynamic. It was a real interesting dynamic. Sorrel's going to be buying some zombie milk. That's nice. Back Dan, I wondered what had happened. It took a while for this new book to come out, Dan. I think he was working on Sam and Twitch covers, or he might have done the internal artwork for that as well. I'm not 100% sure. Fuzzy looks incredible. Pete's back 5 minutes and he's already upsetting us. Do you know what I mean? I hope it's not as drawn out as something epic. Snooth fest. And we'll go. We've got the Prime Minister. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you're well. I broke one of my dad's hammers today, putting up a picture frame. I'm devastated. Never mind. I'm sure your Chancellor will be able to get you one. Fuzzy sounds right up my street. Mine as well, bud. Mine as well. Sounds like an X-Files script. I think that's the thing, Terry, with Simon's work. It's never quite as straightforward as you might think. So this is going to go in strange directions, I think. This will be interesting. As long as it's less wordy than something epic, how dare you? And Andrew, not my normal, but I think I'll pick up No Man's Land in trade paperback. Yeah, that was a great run. Great run. Really, really cool. It's okay, GP. You'll understand it one day. Bless you. Bless you, GP. Okie dokie. Next. Ooh, this is nice.
This is old facsimile. Well, not old facsimile, but this is from Batman 1940 #1. This is facsimile edition. None of us are ever going to own this book. I would think so. So here's your chance to get this one. This is the issue that changed the world. From the pages of Detective Comics, The Dark Knight in his own book at last. Learn who he is and how he came to be. See the first appearance of the villainous Joker and the thrilling thief who will come to be known as Catwoman. So this is just a facsimile of the original book that came out in 1940. So I decided, you know what? I've always loved this cover, and I'm going to read it. But some of these, I won't lie, some of these older books are hard to read.
They
just are. But I'm going to get this book. But I just like the cover.
It's a stunning cover. It's a classic, isn't it? An absolute classic. So yeah, well worth picking up.
Yeah.
Well worth picking up. I like the look of this. So I'm a big fan of Rob Kirkman. He does Invincible, Battle Beast, and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
New series coming out, or one that I don't think ties to anything he's done before, but the cover looks really interesting. So it's a series premiere for fans of Invincible Universe. Comes your new favourite series, the dream team of Robert Kirkman and superstar David Finch. Love his art style as well.
Yeah.
Present a visionary action epic unlike anything you've ever seen before. This just looked really, really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to go for this. And you've picked this one as well, Efren.
Oh, yeah, I picked this one as well. I mean, once I heard that was Robert Kirkman, I go, oh, yeah, I got to pick this book. So hopefully it's a good read. And I agree with you. I love David Finch's artwork.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
So this is a must-read book for sure.
Looks cool.
Yep.
But a guy, Efren.
Yeah, this cover,
It
almost seems like anime-ish looking, this cover, the way the Geiger character usually looks like, but it's just a cover artist. Can Geiger die? Tariq Geiger has been captured, stripped of his powers, and thrown into a wasted society with a high-security penitentiary known only as the prisoners. No allies, no escape, no more time, as he's sentenced to death inside their brutal system. The question isn't whether Geiger can survive, it's whether he ever really could. So I'm not sure. I'm a couple of issues behind. So it looks like he lost his power somehow. And, but yeah, this is volume 2 of this series. Volume 1 and 2, I highly recommend it. This has been a good storyline, but it looks like this is a new point for this character called Geiger, and we'll see how it goes.
Fuzzy's seen different artists as well.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've loved Geiger. I'm like you, I've a couple of issues behind, I think. The art style is very much what draws us in some regards. This doesn't float my boat at all. It looks
younger.
Yeah, he looks young and smooth, and
yeah,
it looks. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuzzy saying he's dropped off Battle Beast. I've got a feeling Fuzzy Battle Beast. It's gonna get old quite quickly. I think the first 2 issues I've enjoyed and I am keeping reading, but it's literally. He goes to a planet, he hits things, he eats it, he leaves. Do you know what I mean? So I know we're only 2 issues in, so they might develop it more than that. But there's a worry, isn't there, that it's just the same stuff every issue, I think. I picked this. I really like the look of this. I saw the cover and that immediately drew us, got us quite interested. This is by Image Comics. This is Viking Moon. As you can see, it's a werewolf book, which is what kind of piqued my little eyes to look at it. But it's also about Vikings. And I love a historical book. I like a crossover of kind of mythology and stuff. So this is a gentleman established a Viking settlement, present day in Newfoundland, a strange new world of plenty, populated by an indigenous people and something else, something unnatural. 20 years after the original expedition ended in a disaster, a new attempt to settle this wilderness is made. Vikings versus werewolves. What more could you ask for? Do you know what I mean? I think this can be incredible. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. We've got XL thank you very much for joining. You here, big fan of Jeff Jones, Forever Evil, and the Sinestro Corps should be adapted to a live-action DCU film. I'm a massive Jeff Jones fan. I go right the way back to his first work on Stars and Stripes, and then his Flash run, which is amazing. His Green Lantern work is some of the best Green Lantern I think we've ever had. And I absolutely agree. The Sinestro Corps War should be a live-action movie. And I would say Darkest Night, following that, is one of my favourite runs of a book ever. So yeah, welcome, XL. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Fuzzy, settle in, put your feet up. Thank you very much, Fuzzy. Thank you for welcoming.
And it was all kinds of comments.
Yeah.
So
Vikings versus werewolves. I'm sold. See, Sorrow's on my wavelength. I mean, this could be amazing. So yeah, looking forward to that one. This is interesting, everyone. I didn't see this one.
Yeah, this is another Image book, Good as Dead, written by David Lapham. For fans of Stillwater and That Texas Blood, the Emissary Bridge has always connected the citizens of Port Linden to hope and opportunity. But when one man shockingly sets himself on fire, the bridge now brings something else to the town. Certain death. Comic book icons David and Maria Lapham present a haunting story of crime, justice, death, and how far a small town will go to keep its secret. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of us here are fans of superheroes, Super Marvel and DC. But I just really enjoy reading books, like from indie books like Image and this. This probably has nothing to do with Superman or superpowers at all. And it's just normal people when something, shocking is thrown their way.
Yeah.
So hopefully, it's a good read, and it's coming out in September.
I'm the same as Fuzzy here, Efren. I've never read
Stillwater's
Stillwater.
good. Yeah.
It
was very good.
I think I've got the first issue, but I haven't read it yet. So I'll have to get on that. Is it finished now? The season?
It finished, and read it. It's very well done. The people don't age. And there was this one scene that was just, it made me sad. They never age. So there was this one baby there that was less than a year old, and the years have gone. His mind has changed, but you can see the sorrow in his eyes, because he's going to be that size forever.
Yeah. It's a bit like
very haunting.
Interview with the Vampire, isn't it? Where she gets turned as a child.
Yeah.
And she starts to get incredibly kind of frustrated with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting pick. Now. That colour's awful. I've gone for Street Sharks #1 by ID. Do you know what? Everybody, I'm a cartoon fan. I love my Transformers. Sorry. See the different level, the different fans we have. Do you know what I mean? We've got Fuzzy, cock off. We've got Sorrel, Street Sharks. Different levels of excitement. And I'm a big fan of Turtles, all that kind of stuff. But Street Sharks, for some reason, completely missed me by. And people have told us, a bit like Gargoyles as well, that I need to check these out. So I'm probably going to pick this up just to see what it's about, see if it's any good. I suspect, as Fuzzy says, it's not going to be the best, and I'll move on rapidly. Any Keanu Reeves comic news? So Keanu Reeves he made a character called Berserker. Aaron, I don't know if you've heard of that character, an immortal warrior who can't be killed. So check that book out, Berserker. I've read a couple of issues and it's pretty good, but the talk is that Keanu's going to make it into a movie as well. So that's worth checking out. So that's called Berserker. Okie dokie. Moving on. Ooh, bit of Hyde Street.
Hyde Street is another book Peter and I have been both reading. I highly recommend reading this book. It's a good story by Image Comics, written by Jeff Johns. This is issue number 10. She reads palms, rigged seances, and whispered lies for coin. In 1920, sisterhood was just another con artist in lace fronts until her grift drew the wrath of the scorekeeper and landed her in the cursed dimension known as Hyde Street. Now a man named Mr. X-Ray walks through her parlor door, and he's not here for a reading. He's here to rewrite his fate and hers. This has been a good storyline, just introducing new characters, it seems like, with every issue. It's Hyde Street is it's like you make the wrong turn and you end up in High Street. These are people who have done wrong, and it just goes from there. This is a highly recommended book and story.
So I'm with Fuzzy here. This is my favorite of this kind of. Well, actually, do you know what? This may be my favorite book I'm reading at the moment in total. I'm really enjoying this. It plays to what I like most, which is the anthology kind of horror tale. So yeah, I do think it's better than Geiger at the moment. I'm enjoying this a lot. But this is fresh on its heels. This is The Twilight Zone by Dan Watters. A return to the Twilight Zone, a all new anthology series featuring stories by some of the best creators in comics today. I'm loving the idea of this. There's a whole host of different covers for this. There's a great cover by Martin Simmons. So yeah, this could be great. Yeah, big fan of the Twilight Zone. Are you, Efren? Do you like Twilight Zone?
Oh yeah, classic TV show from the 1960s, and I can't wait to read this too. I wonder if the cover is going to be all in black and white. I wonder.
I'm not sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Each issue is a standalone book. They've had great success with things like Ice Cream Man, so I'm surprised this hasn't happened already, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go, see what it's all about. But I'm hoping this is going to be really, really good. And then a bit of Redcoat.
Redcoat's part of that same universe as Geiger. I'm wondering how they're all going to connect. I think they're going to have to connect eventually. But this is that same universe. Redcoat number 15. A new story arc. It's 1909, and Simon Pure has traded gunpowder, and glory for quiet days and a clock punching job. But something or someone will drag the immortal Redcoat back into adventure. What threatens loom? And which old friend has come knocking to reignite the fire?
Okay.
So yeah, I really have enjoyed this character. I always like characters like going back in time or immortality, and I really have been enjoying this series so far. As Redcoat.
Yeah, it's a good one. Lots of people confirming that the Twilight Zone is black and white. Fuzzy fact time: Twilight Zone is the most cancelled TV show in history. Wow.
And it keeps on coming back, though.
Yeah. That's cool. Oh, another interesting one for me. This is Blue Falcon and Dynamut. It's a Perillo cover. Again, there are a whole host of different covers out for this. This is by Dynamite Comics, first issue. I'm not overly familiar with these characters, but I do remember seeing them in, I want to say, a Scooby-Doo animated show or something, or animated movie a while ago. If James is still in the chat, he'll tell us. But I'm sure I saw them linked into that kind of universe. It's a first issue. I'll give it a go. See what it's like. I have zero faith in Dynamite. I'm the same dungeon crawler. I have to say, they've upset me with some of my favorite cartoons turning into real trash comics. They're really going for the Hanna-Barbera movie. Yeah, they're pushing it. They're pushing it in subtle. Fuzzy's never heard of them. Like I said, I'm sure they were in a Scooby-Doo animated movie. I watched with my kids. Oh, sorry, confirming. Yeah, they were in a Scooby-Doo movie. Yeah, I thought they were. So yeah, give it a go. See what it's like. I'm not expecting much though. Sleep.
This book, when I first read issue number 1, I go, I don't know if I'm going to like this book at all, but it's an interesting book so far. And this is Sleep number 5. When this character, Jonathan Reason, falls asleep, he becomes something terrible. Basically, in issue number 1, he wakes up and there's death surrounding him all around, and he's not sure what's going on. So teaming with his friend Tabitha, they come up with a theory for both the origin of this problem and its possible solution. After disagreements on the best way to combat the creature, the townfolk began to split into factions. So this is kind of like a horror book, and I really have been enjoying it. I didn't think I would enjoy it at all, but I do like it.
So this is a real interesting one. Fuzzy, let us know in the chat if you managed to read issue 2 yet. I didn't particularly like issue 1, and then I read issue 2 and it clicked and I understood what was happening. I think. So basically the premise of this book is that or as it's presented so far, is that the guy is a werewolf.
Oh,
And the whole sleep element is that each issue starts with him waking up and it ends with him going to sleep. And when he goes to sleep, he becomes the werewolf, but we don't see any of that because we're asleep as well, technically. And then the next issue opens with him waking up from being a werewolf and the devastation that's happened, which I think is really clever. So I really enjoyed issue 2. I think the art style's not for me, but I will give another go of issue 3, and I'll probably make the decision at that point whether I'm continuing on or not. But we'll see. James Keegan and Sorrel are both saying Scoob. That's what I'm thinking. The animated movie. I did watch that. Either of you fellas classic Doctor Who fans? Absolutely, Anton. I've been a Doctor Who fan since I was a wee boy. I even watched the modern stuff as well, although that sometimes is a challenge. Although I did enjoy the last series. Terry, I've ordered a blank of the Twilight Zone. Ooh, that'll be good for Ian to do some work on. Superb. Dynamite Comics are a month behind Diamond are due them thousands and they can't pay. Oh God, it's not good times. Fuzzy saying he's read Sleep and he's sticking it out. Good stuff, Fuzzy. I'm going to give it till issue 3. But if issue 3 is like issue 2, then yeah, I will keep going. I think I will keep going. And Anton is saying that they were in the Scooby-Doo TV show and they have their own show. They were part of the last Olympics. Okay, interesting. And that makes sense, Peter. You may be right. Every now and then I have a burst of intelligence, Chris, and then it quickly disappears. So yeah. The Laugh Olympics. Okay, interesting. I haven't seen that one.
That was a Hanna-Barbera TV show where they had characters,
right.
like Scooby-Doo and those guys, and they were just Olympic themed, but they were just all, fun and games, so to speak.
Very good. I don't think I've seen that one. Interesting.
So I think we're near the end. I picked these two. For the one on the left, I've been such a fan of Star Trek Lower Decks, the TV show. It just finished its run, I think, earlier this year. And this is a continuation, to me at least, of the TV series. This is just more ongoing missions that they have, the crew of the Lower Decks. So that's why I picked it. I have been reading this series, and it does remind me a lot of the TV show, which, I really enjoyed. The one on the right. Go ahead, Peter. I'm sorry.
Is that a dolphin in a Starfleet uniform?
This looks like, these characters were shown in the TV show. I don't remember these characters. Yeah, they're Starfleet characters. Yes.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun book to read. Just lighthearted, just like the TV show was. The one on the right is Star Trek: The Last Starship. It says the Federation has fallen, hope is fading. One last starship remains to fight for the future, unless a resurrected James T. Kirk dooms it first. Fresh off the run, Screen Rant calls one of the greatest eras in the history of Star Trek comics. There was a thing called the Burn in the last one of the TV shows of Star Trek, where they lost all the crystals and they were basically put back in the Stone Age for outer space, so to speak. So yeah, I think this is going to show how all that came about, and this is called Star Trek: The Last Starship.
Nice. I'll probably give that a go.
Yeah,
what it's like.
Anything with Kirk in it.
Like a bit of Kirk.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, Nope, No Way. So again, these are just our opinions. Everyone's entitled to a different view.
Yeah.
These are books that we've looked at and we're not that keen on, so we probably won't be reading. And I went with this one. So Efren, I know you've picked this as your choice.
Yeah.
The Undead Iron Fist #1. I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed Iron Fist. He's a bit like Moon Knight. I feel like they've given him lots of different series and tries, and nothing's really kind of stuck for a good while. And I hate this cover, Efren. Do you know what?
It doesn't look that good.
It reminds us. Do you remember, maybe 20 years ago, they tried to revive Dr. Fate at DC, and they made him just a character called Fate.
Okay.
And he had all this weird gold signs hanging off him. So it looks very much like that. So yeah, not for me. I'm going to move on from that one. Oh.
So I really got into Venomverse and Spider-Verse when those storylines came on, but they just keep on going on and on and on. There's a book out right now, Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. And I'm not sure if I'm going to read. Well, actually, Peter and I, we did make a point that the books that we say no way, we are going to read them and give our reviews of them. And two of them are coming up pretty soon, Peter. The first two ones that we did. So this one, Return to Venomverse, where anyone can be host of their favorite alien life form. However, Carnage is on the loose and he's tearing these symbiotic relationships apart left and right. Who will be strong enough to end the Red Menace before he kills all the Venoms in the multiverse? They're just really stretching this whole Venomverse and Spider-Verse. I think they should just stop with it, but yeah, we'll see,
Couple of things. Has the green one got a hat on? Is that what I'm seeing?
I think so. It looks like a hat. Can't really see his face.
And is that a Venom rabbit bouncing on the ground?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. It is. Yeah.
No, thank you.
And it looks like the Venom on the bottom right-hand side is wearing some kind of suit or something, Yeah. So
more Venomverse, damn Marvel ideas. It's just never stopped, the whole Venomverse rubbish.
Yeah.
Soon to be followed by still doing.
Yeah, that's why I gave it a thumbs down. But I am writing down the books, Peter. And next month, I think we're going to review the first two. You had the swimsuit special. And I had Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
We're going to see, if it was good or bad, the first two books.
Yeah. I'm not sure there'll be a lot of reading in the swimsuit special. So
yeah.
So coming soon, things that are coming up soon for us. This is out next week.
Yes.
This we talked about with Super Sorrel the other day. This really, really looks interesting. This ends tonight, chapter 1. J. Lee art on the cover there. I quite like his art style. It's kind of
this cover.
Yeah,
awesome looking
it
cover.
Just looks interesting.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling Fuzzy put this on his Instagram a little while ago as well, saying that he was looking forward to it. This just sounds really cool. It's kicking off 3 interconnecting tales of bloody revenge in Vegas. The debut issue stars 2 sisters hunted by assassins for their shocking family secret. An oversized, action-packed romp, and every panel is crushed with love by J. Lee. I think this could be... Oh, Fuzzy saying he's got this. It's been dispatched already for him. Super. Is it any good, Fuzzy? Let one know. So yeah, I think this could be cool. Sorrel's getting himself excited. Swimsuit special. Yeah, mate. Marvel swimsuit special. If you've ever wanted to know what Gambit looks like in his Speedos, you can get a book. You can get a book that tells you all about that. So yeah. Did anyone else read Star Trek Lower Decks Choose Your Own Adventure graphic novel? Oh, no. I haven't seen that one.
I didn't read that. I
quite like those. They did a Deadpool Choose Your Own Adventure one a while ago, which was really, really cool. Swimsuit special is out this week, Sorrel. There you go, Sorrel. Why is that a thing? Yep, it's been a thing for years, mate.
Yeah,
it's been a thing for years. Yeah. X-Men swimsuit specials. Yeah. We haven't moved on from the 80s. Okay, Efren, you've gone for Predator.
So we mentioned Predator before, Predator versus the Marvel Universe. And this is, and I mentioned also that Predator versus Black Panther, Wolverine. Now this is Predator versus Spider-Man. It's an ongoing series. This may be the last issue. The Predators finally have a Skinner in their crosshairs, but another great hunter stands in their way, Kraven. As these 3 competing forces battle their way through the nighttime streets, Spider-Man takes to the rooftops where he discovers something that threatens to destroy all of New York City. I think putting Kraven into this book makes perfect sense, but he's been a Predator all these decades. So this has been a really good storyline. I think the next one they should do is Predator versus Daredevil.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one. So I think this probably be the last issue. And these Predator series has been, very well done.
I mean, let's be honest, Efren. Now that Marvel's got the Predator license, they're going to milk this for all it's worth.
Yeah.
So we're going to get these for forever, different versions. But actually, I don't mind it. Fuzzy saying allegedly this is really good. Certainly the first couple of issues, Fuzzy. Have I read issue 3?
I've read the first 2 so far.
I don't know if I've read issue 3 or not yet. I think I've definitely read 2, but really, really strong.
Yep.
Interesting and quite graphic as well. Quite graphic. James is saying Kraven versus Predator is actually a sick idea. Yeah, it is. It's very cool.
It is. Yeah.
Predator's cloaking against Daredevil would be useless, so it would confuse a Predator. That's the right idea for a comic. Yeah, that could play out very well. So yeah, this is a good one. Good pick, Efren. Good pick.
Yep.
Couple of reviews for you, ladies and gents. I have gone for Extremity. I've gone for the trade paperback. So volume 1, which is the first 6 issues. This is by Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm behind the curve on this because this has been out for a good long time. Some of Daniel Warren Johnson's earlier work after Murder Falcon, I believe. I picked this up from Forbidden Planet a good few months ago because it had a book plate in it, a signed book plate by Daniel. And I've recently just getting to read it, first 6 issues. I liked it that much. I'll give this away at some point because I've ordered the hardback to keep because it's that good. Daniel's artwork isn't for everybody. I don't know if you've seen much of it. Efren, he did the Transformers run a little while ago. He did do a Powerbomb. It's a very unique style of art, but it works in this book, I think. It's an interesting tale, basically, of clans, where one clan murders people from another clan, so that clan goes on a year-long kind of revenge thing, and then it just keeps going backwards and forth. And it's getting to the point now where you don't really know who the goodies and the baddies are. The people who you think were the goodies, the kind of the war chief who's avenging his dead wife, is by the end of the first 6 issues crazy, and he's the bad guy, really. And then there's a hint that they wiped his wife out because they did something to them beforehand. So it's this whole cyclical nature of war and revenge, you know. But yeah, it's been enjoyable. I've liked it so far. Like I say, I'll give away the first volume of this on the next show we do, and I'll get I have ordered the trade paperback. And also, I kind of get enough of Akira homage covers. I think that looks phenomenal. So yeah. Just before we move on to yours, GP, Akira homage, yeah. And yeah, he doesn't do it for me. Not interior. Yeah, his style sometimes works for me, Fuzzy. Other times it does me head in. So there's a book out at the moment. What's his book at the moment? Something about the moon following him or something? The moon will follow us or something? I gave it 2 issues and I just thought, I can't be chewed with this. And whilst I loved his work on Transformers initially, I cannot say I was sad to see him go. So yeah. Efren, Turtles.
So this is basically the second Turtle series I have ever read. The first one was The Last Ronin, and I started reading this book. I said, I'm going to give it a try. You know, obviously everybody knows about the Turtles, but I just have never read a book. And this one it says the Turtles have all left New York to pursue their own interests. It looks like they've gone their own separate ways. One of them ended up in prison. One of them's gone crazy. One of them's done like his own, I think, TV show. So they go back and Master Splinter is dead, you know, so to speak, but they go back to New York City and, you know, they try to regroup, but they all have all this baggage, you know, they're not as happy-go-lucky anymore. And it just takes off from there. So, like I said, Splinter is dead, but Donatello picks up a dead rat that he thinks is Splinter, and they're all thinking, you're crazy, you're crazy. But little by little, they're starting to realize somehow that this is Splinter, somehow. And it just goes from there. I've really been enjoying this series. Like I said, I've never read Turtles continuity-wise, so I am reading this, and I'm highly enjoying this book. It's a really good book.
So this is by Jason Aaron, who's a phenomenal writer. I'm about maybe 2 issues behind on this. The last issue I read was where they'd kind of all just left New York, I think. But this is amazing. I'm loving this series. That cover is stunning. I love the splashes of colour on it. Yeah, I think it's amazing. And I'm with you, Fuzzy. As much as I like Last Ronin, I think this is a far better story. Jason Aaron's a great writer. So yeah, great book. Good pick, Efren. Good pick. So Back to the Past is where we'll have a quick look at a couple of covers that we particularly like. And I wanted to mention, for me tonight, X-Men 25. But this is kind of just to get some chat views and your view, Efren. I'm using this one. First of all, that was a great comic. You know, Magneto ripping the adamantium out of Wolverine was spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. But this, for me, represents gimmick covers. So all of these anniversary X-Men issues had the holograms on the cover, which I absolutely loved. We've had all kinds of foil covers. We've had hologram covers, prismatic covers, embossed covers. Where do you stand on the whole enhanced cover kind of thing? Do you like them, or are you not bothered by them?
when these books came out, I really liked them, especially the one with Wolverine. You know, when he got his adamantium sucked out of him. Um, if it's well done, if they come out today and they do, and if it's a good cover, then yeah, I'm all for it. You know, I think it adds to the cover. You know, tries to bring in the fans, so to speak. So if it's done well, then yeah, I'm all for it. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I love it. I have to say, I'm a bit of a sucker for a foil cover or for a hologram cover. I think the one I enjoyed the most was Superman 75, Death of Superman, where you got it in the poly bag and you got it with his obituary and the armband and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you saw that one. Yeah, really, really like those. Really like those. Deadman Terry is just saying, thank you, Andrew Duncan. I thought I had subbed to that Lower Deck book, but never received it. Just ordered it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Chris, Lenticular is piss poor approach from me. I don't mind gimmicks at all, but Lenticular pap. 3D also pap. I would agree, Chris. I'm not a fan of most Lenticulars. Some of them work good. Others are dreadful. So Marvel did, was it 30 or 40 books a while ago? And some of them were really impressive. And then others just look like shite. So I'm with you, Chris. I think it's got to be done well. And Andrew is saying, fine with a gimmick as long as it doesn't cost extra with no option for basic. Again, good point, Andrew. Yeah, good point. Okay, Efren, you've gone for an absolute classic here.
Can you go back to the previous slide for a second?
Yep, that.
You went so quick, you didn't give me a chance to pull up that. I've been meaning to do that for months.
I mean, you've been working on that one for a long time. So yeah,
it took me a long time to get that down. So, my pick is Daredevil #1. This book came out in 1964, and a story by Stan Lee has the origin of Daredevil. And I just realized that the artwork is by Bill Everett, who I believe was the artist for Submariner. Yeah, this is a old school classic. I don't think this book gets as much popular as Fantastic Four, X-Men, or Spider-Man books, but I really have enjoyed this character throughout the years, and I just had to pick this. I never picked a Daredevil book. I was going to pick one from the Daredevil Elektra series, and Bullseye when he kills her, but I picked Daredevil #1 as my Back to the Past cover.
It's a stunning cover. It is a stunning cover, and it's just great. It's just great.
Yeah.
Very, very nice book. And it's, I mean, we've talked about this before in terms of your top tier Marvel grails. I know me and you have both got a copy of this, but in terms of those grail books, I still think Daredevil is kind of undervalued.
Oh, yes.
For the character he is and the importance he is.
Yeah.
He's quite kind of like well below a lot of the other big books,
Yeah, for some reason, not sure why, but it's a great character.
Yeah, it is. Fuzzy's just saying, I don't go for foil covers. Gimmick covers don't bother me, but these days, if they do it, it takes the piss, and there are too many. There are too many.
Way too many.
Give me a cardstock any day. Yeah, see, I like a cardstock as well, Fuzzy. Chris is saying DD1, beautiful old covers are stunning, beautiful. They absolutely are. I want to buy that one day, but it keeps going up. It does, Terry, but like I say, I still think it's reasonable value for a character of that importance, Yellow Daredevil best suit. I'm a sucker for the yellow suit. I do like the yellow suit as well. Haven't seen the new season yet. Come on, Pete. It's yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There's some good episodes. There's some ropey episodes. It keeps going up because people like you keep saying what you just did. Yeah. Great time to buy, honestly. Yeah, it is. Market's good at the moment for these key books. What's next? So, Efren, what's coming up over on your channel?
Hopefully either this week or next week, I'm gonna do my show that I do Up on Comics, where I talk about comic book news and entertainment. If my cousin's available, I always do with him, Momo Comics. If not, I ask Peter to help me out every now and then. In about 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now, San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm going to be going live on Instagram, walking around the convention center and outside the convention center for the 4 days that it starts. I believe it starts July 23rd or 22nd. And I'll be going live as much as I can, during San Diego Comic-Con.
Superb. Great stuff. So, ladies and gents, over on my channel, there's the usual stuff, all kinds of different videos and things like that. Please do become a channel member. We would much appreciate it. But bit of a change on the channel. We're changing how we do the live shows. We're basically combining all of the ones we do previously into one big show. So next Tuesday at 8 o'clock will be our launch of a new show, which is called Panel Breakers. And this is the show we're going to do every single Tuesday going forward. The show is going to kind of contain all of the week's news, all of the reviews that we normally do. There's going to be a look at geeky kind of happenings over the last week. There's going to be some comic book news. There's going to be a quiz. There's going to be Year in Geek, looking at movies and cartoons and TV shows. There'll be a question posed to yourselves and the panel. We're going to look at some toy news and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to look at the what books are coming out on Wednesday. So books that are going to be coming out the day after the show. So loads of new stuff. Really do hope everybody joins and watches with me. You're going to have a core team of myself, Efren, James T. Keegan and Super Sorrel. So some good chat and conversation from those guys. But I really want lots of audience participation as well. So please do jump on next week. Days, Chris. Days. That's why I moved it to 8 o'clock. The idea is with we're going weekly, there'll not be as much of each thing. So for toy news, there'll hopefully just be like one slide. For gaming news, less than one slide if we're lucky. So that kind of stuff. We'll try and keep it to a minimum as best we can. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention there's Negative Zone as well, where we're basically moan and bitch on about stuff. So yeah, that should be fun. So lots going on that. Also that week, so that will be next Friday, is the launch of mine and Andy's Perpetual Comics new show, Rusty Staples, which is a comic book based show. Again, lots of really interesting stuff going to be happening. Sorry, Fuzzy. Less games and tat winner. So yeah, there's going to be lots of interesting stuff with Rusty Staples. I don't want to talk too much about it because me and Andy are kind of sorting out the full format, but we're going to try and do some different stuff in that show and stuff that we can get you guys involved with as well. So really excited for that. Okie dokie. So Efren, that that's whack. We're doing another great show. Thank you so much to everybody that has been in the comments. Really do enjoy spending time with you all. Should just mention, tomorrow night live over on Super Sorrel's channel at 8 o'clock, we're going to be talking all things DC. So we did a show last week about Marvel, and we talked about Marvel movies, cartoons, TV, action figures, comic books, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be doing that on DC tomorrow, so really looking forward to that. And then on Friday, Jesus, I never stop. On Friday, if Mr. Keegan can get himself out of bed, we will be doing our horror channel over on One Good Scare at 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock, One Good Scare. Efren, you are in charge, mate. Have we got an outro video, or do we just...
I have an outro video. I'm all ready. I'm all set. We're professionals here, so we know what we're doing. Everybody have a good rest of your evening or day, as for me. And I always say, go out and buy a comic book and read it. So everybody take care. Until next time. Bye.